glad that there's so many people involved and that they're actively involved.
I'm sure. Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. I believe we have a quorum today. That's very exciting. Okay, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the roll call. Well, Mando.
Present.
Julio.
Present.
Bobby.
Here.
Martha. Here. And Gail. We're here. We're all here. And not present are Merck.
No, Ms. Yolanda Gutierrez Garcia, we did not hear whether she was coming or not. Dr. Collins would not be able to be here. Hector Chapa would not be able to be here. And Ms. Angie Moore has been sworn in, but she's out of
Okay,
town.
I was thinking Merck nominated Hector. That's
Yes.
Okay, so what is our agenda right now? We have a group of for citizens' comments.
Actually, they're on the agenda under item 8.1.
So we're gonna wait for that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the minutes are included. Do we want to accept the minutes as, do we want to approve without reading? Or do you want to read the minutes?
I move that we approve them as presented.
Okay.
second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes as presented. Let's see. Are there any communications and announcements?
Just in your packet is the letter from Mr. Alfonso Santos, which he submitted in November, but just now so we can enter into the record.
Okay.
Who replaced him, Maria?
Lopez Lopez.
Pancho.
Pancho.
It's Angie Moore, no?
No, District 1. Maria Gonzalez. No, this is
District 1.
who was it?
Well, Bobby Lopez.
Yes.
But Poncho was in a different district, wasn't he?
No, wait.
Bobby Lopez was here when Poncho was
That's
here.
why.
Okay, so it was either
No,
I
it
think
was Alex Perez.
Alex
Alex
Perez.
Perez.
So it's Hector Chapa who's now for
Okay.
Mercurio Martinez.
Okay,
Too many Lopez's. No, I'm
all right. So
kidding.
all the positions are filled, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a full committee.
Okay. Okay, so then, any announcements?
Just that on this.
Okay.
No, anybody? No.
Okay, then, staff reports.
And you do have in your packet a copy of the biannual report that was submitted to City Council. We just went over that the mural grants was awarded to 2 artists. That we had some presentations and also about the Yo-Yo upcoming concert. And with that, we also submit the attendance for those 6 months and just contact information for the committee, the commission.
Okey dokey. And so the second report would be the update on Yo-Yo Ma's Day of Action. And I actually printed out the whole email from Brendan, the latest one.
And it changes?
And left it on my desk. Well, it had the comments from the Yo-Yo Ma organization group, and I left the whole thing on my desk.
I bought a copy of it.
Okay, cool.
And there's been some other ones sent in.
I
some
think
other
this
emails.
was like the last one.
No, it
No?
was it red and in bold. That was not the last one. There's been
No.
at least.
There's also another one that he's calling, and I was trying to look for it. He's calling for a meeting of the.
On
Monday.
Monday at 6:30.
Right, at 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is good. I have a meeting, just city staff, to see what our role's gonna be on
Okay.
Monday also at 1 o'clock, so.
And what, and Brendan wants a meeting with what, anybody who's involved or wants to be involved?
And he said that generally, he had made some previous assignments
Oh, okay,
of different people that are in there to take over.
right, certain segments of the
But since
thing.
he sent it in general terms, I guess it wouldn't hurt
Okay,
to go there.
I think the more the merrier, and of course, because you're part of this very important commission, you would be more than welcome.
so what time is that meeting?
It's at 6:30 at the second floor of Tamiyu Fine Arts Center. I believe it's room 200.
On Monday, is that
Yes.
what you
I
said?
believe it's 210.
210, is that right?
Monday the 25th,
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
6:30 at 10U.
Mhm.
The fine arts building?
Fine Arts Building,
Fine
yes.
Arts.
That's where the theater is, but it's on the second floor.
Right, it's on the second floor, the main entrance of the building. If you take the elevator up,
Okay.
you pass the gallery, and it'll be right there.
Okay,
Good.
so I guess,
I can give you right now maybe the schedule so far.
The tentative schedule.
Right.
They will be closing the bridge at around 8:45. From 9 to 9:30, he's gonna be able to play. It is Bridge 1, so the pedestrian traffic will not be stopped. The way it's gonna work, Convention Visitors Bureau is gonna give us some lanyards to some of the people, the mayor, the commission, and maybe some other people, so that we don't have to go through the process of going through the gate. But it's open to the public, anybody that can come into the bridge and listen to it, but
what, oh, it's on the 13th,
the
right?
13th,
Yeah.
yes, it's a Saturday. The general public that comes in through the regular way, they're gonna have to leave through the port and get processed just
Oh,
as they
okay.
head across, so they need to bring their papers to get back
Okay.
into the United States.
Okay. What time is that?
It should be,
Like
the
it-
performance about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
I think they can only close the bridge, well, they only approve closing the bridge for
A few minutes.
Right,
Mhm.
15
okay.
to 20 minutes, but it's something that's
So
symbolically
he's
very
gonna
important.
play on the bridge?
In the middle of the
Okay.
bridge.
Right.
Okay,
And I'm sure, that's on the Mexican side, they'll close their side.
Side.
So we've been, or the city has been communicating with, customs
right.
to get all that all the rules.
Right,
The city's PAC, Public Access, is gonna contact Yo-Yo Ma's people for the sound system.
The requirements.
The requirements of what they need. All he needs is a chair and the mic and his cello. That's
Right,
all.
no
It's
sound
not gonna
system.
be a big production.
Right.
Last I heard, he is going to Nuevo Laredo,
Right, that's in this year.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
confirmed.
confirmed, and then he's gonna come back and they're gonna have the conversation at the Center for the Arts.
Mhm.
That's still to be
Yeah.
They're,
fleshed
they're
out.
working out, but it seems
That's
like,
him.
but they're trying to make sure that they get youth there,
Mhm.
Yeah,
because
And I think they got the youth in Nuevo Laredo,
yes,
so.
they wanna,
Right.
involve, obviously the next generation, and
Right.
they're the most open-minded about everything, hopefully, so that they can be included in the conversation.
After that, he's gonna come down and it's at the park right there by
Right.
Bridge 1. There, we've combined the Earth Day activities. So far there's a lot of activities
Right, I
going
saw
on,
that.
so, we'll see what pans out. They want a parade from Zaragoza to Santa Maria,
uh-huh,
I believe some of the high school mariachis
are gonna,
they're gonna gather there at the San Agustin Plaza.
Plaza.
And then.
March with him.
March with him down there. And then there's gonna be different events, dancers, poets, birthday.
and there's 2 basketball
Courts.
and in
Right.
one it's gonna be the performances, and the other one I think they're gonna have dancers and,
And the Philharmonics are also gonna be out there, and I think they're gonna do the
Didn't
Rhapsody.
she make a comment about wanting like Tejano or other kinds of music? Don't you have where she wrote her notes?
Yes. And I guess that'll be up to the committee to come up with.
Yeah,
so who's gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, but there's a performance stage.
But
Yeah.
Martin
So-
has a conjunto.
Yeah, everybody, I'm sure they'll be able to get anything that they need.
Yeah.
But they're leaving that for us for the group to.
for the committees to put
right.
together, okay.
It'll go on till 7.
Yes.
I think he needs to leave for San Antonio at 5.
Oh, okay.
And of course, what they conveyed to us is that he wants to participate, not be the center.
Yeah, I read the whole thing a little while ago, that's why I printed it out.
And again, I encourage everybody to
Yeah,
watch
but
that
he wants to
documentary.
be part of the orchestra group that plays.
Right, but there's a documentary called The Music of Strangers,
Uh-huh.
and it's on HBO. I really encourage everybody to see
Uh-huh.
that because it'll give you a really succinct, look at his thoughts and how he views all this cross-sectional melding of cultures and music and so forth. He plays with musicians from all over the world in this Silk Road project that he's got.
So what's the name of the documentary?
It's called The Music of Strangers.
The Music of Strangers.
HBO, it's there.
HBO.
HBO.
Food trucks, what else?
Yeah.
It's just,
They're gonna have food and
Yeah.
obviously there's tables at the Earth Day, the Earth Day's having.
eco stations and of
Right.
course vendors,
Right.
like the farmer's market, organic stuff, and
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
so. It's gonna be big.
So it should be a wonderful celebration.
It should be, and again, the city council was, very gracious
Excited.
and
Yeah.
gracious and excited about approving that.
Well, we
So,
all are honored that he's coming to Laredo. Amazing for our town. Okay, anything else about Yo-Yo Ma? We have to just keep in touch and make
Yes.
sure we have updates on all of that.
And city staff has been excellent. I mean, Ms. Cabello met us on a Saturday when we went out there. She showed us different avenues of, what we could do. And everybody agreed that the park down there, the Montalvo Park, is just the perfect place for this activity. So congratulations to the city for keeping that park up.
Yeah.
And for how beautiful it is.
Beautiful, yes.
And then of course, for the people at the
Weren't,
bridge.
isn't there gonna be are they gonna have, canoes and boats on the water?
I think they changed that. At some
They
point, they
got
were
rid of
thinking
that.
of doing it, but they've now decided to do
They're
it
gonna change it to another date.
to another day.
Oh,
Not
okay.
that part of that.
They might still want to do the paddle or something like that, but
Right.
that's Sunday.
Okay.
That's the Rio Grande group.
Yeah, RGISC. Okay. Really good. Okay, so, we do have a presentation, so we're on items for discussion and possible action. I would like to say that maybe item number 2, we move it to another day, to the
Okay.
next week, to next month, so that we give this group a chance to really have the floor and discuss in length what they want to
You
talk
need a
about.
motion to,
Okay, do I need a motion to move item 2 to next month?
I so move.
Okay, a
Second.
second, thank you. It's been moved and seconded that we remove my request to discuss the commission's role and mission and any other matters.
we have removed it.
Yeah, I know, but hopefully we'll have a quorum next month and we'll get to that. But I really feel like this presentation that we're gonna see is really great. So, and they were here 2 months ago or twice already. Yeah, we haven't had a quorum, so finally, yay. Okay, so, they're going to introduce themselves, and we have discussed and listened and got to know them, and so, this should be really great.
Hello, thank you, Chairwoman and Commission members for allowing us to present today. My name is Alisa Cigarroa. I'm an artist and I've studied for the past 10 years abroad in France and Jerusalem, and I recently moved back to Laredo, where Regina and I reconnected as friends, and Regina Portillo is the executive director of a local nonprofit organization called City Makery. And so we would like to present this. Or is this working?
We're waiting on the password, but we can
Okay.
get started anyway, since we all have handouts. So, my background, for those that we weren't with in the last meeting, I moved back to Laredo almost 2 years ago. I lived in Austin and New York for over 10 years in both places. So I moved back and I really wanted to get involved in something that would help my city grow and be a city where my friends would want to come back and live here. And 6 months ago, I found a few local architects who had a lot of civic engagement projects going already, including the farmers market, the garden at Canseco House, and Bike Laredo. So they brought me in to help them form a nonprofit. It's called City Makery. And under City Makery, we have lots of subgroups that are really advocacy groups that we help organize, and we help the community kind of accomplish things that they already want from their city, but they don't necessarily know how to make those things work. So I've helped with the Urban Agriculture Center, with Bike Laredo, and we've also helped designate arts and culture districts downtown and other organizations. And so in meeting Alyssa Cigarroa, we both discovered that we have a similar passion for what we want in Laredo in terms of art and culture. So we decided to move forward with something, and we know about this commission, which is exactly aligned to the vision that we have. And in that, we came here January 24th, I believe, and we agreed. It was an informal meeting since we didn't have quorum, but we informally agreed to do two things. One was to integrate the art community, to kind of start mobilizing them so they meet, and two, to continue pursuing an arts master plan. So this is an update from what we agreed then. So we've gathered just a couple of friends who then invited lots of artists. Some of them are here today. And we haven't promoted it too much because just by word of mouth, we've garnered about 20 people, and we've already met a few times. So this is a statement that we came up with as a collective. So our name is Cultivarte, and we're a group of artists and advocates from all backgrounds, integrating the art community and driven by a desire to evolve Laredo's culture. Our objective is to nurture and expand local arts. So like I said, we've met already. We have pretty much weekly meetings. There we're meeting at Gallery 201, which Gail so kindly opened up a bigger space that we needed once we were getting more traction. And we're thinking about two projects. We're kind of doing a preliminary design and analysis of the Canseco House. You see the wall back there. So that's one idea, and Councilman Merck is open to it. So once we have a design, we'll come here to the commission to show you guys. And then we're also looking at Zaragoza Street. So I know through Bike Laredo that this is a street that is very dangerous for pedestrians because cars don't know that they shouldn't go in there. There's a very small do not enter sign, even though this is just a pedestrian area. But it's open for ambulances and maintenance trucks to go by. So what we want to do is something like the image on the left, which is just acrylic paint. It's acrylic asphalt paint on the actual street. So we've been taking pictures, we've been talking through designs, and once we have something there as well, we'll come to the commission. But just to give you an idea of some of the pilot projects that we're thinking about now. And then in terms of the second objective that we had, which was around the Arts Master Plan, this is just a screenshot of what's in our city's comprehensive plan. So the third most important thing for Laredoans is arts and culture, yet we have very little in terms of resources from the city to grow this. And so part of that is trying to get to that 2% of capital improvement projects, which a lot of other cities have. And so even though the city has a comprehensive plan, this plan lays out lots of objectives, but it's not necessarily descriptive as to what the city needs to do. It's not an action plan. So that's why we want to pursue an arts and culture master plan, just like the Parks Department is doing for themselves, is pursuing a master plan so that they know exactly how they're going to meet certain objectives. And the way to do that is to hire a consultant. And lots of other cities have done this. Cities that have successful public art programs have a master plan. It's their blueprint for how their program works. We've spoken to people from El Paso. We know San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Marcos. Some of these cities are much smaller than Laredo, and they have a master plan. So we see this as the key next step. And again, a master plan is a roadmap. It would be a roadmap for you guys as well, the commission, city departments, and even city council, so that everyone is aligned on what our priorities are, what our process is to get projects approved, get them funded, etc. So the steps to do this, sorry, it's a little weird because the font changed, but the first step to do this, like we did some research, we called other cities and they told us how they did this. So we're right now, these are 6 steps. We're on number 1. We drafted a resolution. We handed out. So we drafted a resolution. This resolution would need to be approved by you, which is why we're here today. This is a draft. The city attorney's office would have to take a look at it, but this is our proposed resolution, which states that the city is willing to put out an RFQ on hiring an arts and culture master plan consultant. So usually 1 or 2 people would come to Laredo and create this arts and culture master plan. The only edit on that resolution right now is in the last part. I think it's the second to last bullet point. I actually talked to some consultants and they said the maximum, and this is on the very high end, is that this the consultant services would be a maximum of $80,000. I had written $150,000, but that was just my guess. But they've done this for as low as $40,000. So this is just for the city to go out, and whatever comes back should not exceed $80,000. So here we're on the arts and culture approving the draft. So that's where we stand today. After that, city council will need to approve it and then actually put out the RFQ and select and hire a consultant. Once the master plan actually gets established, and this would include hosting town halls with the art community, talking with the commission, with all of you guys, and them doing lots of research. They would even help us pass a public art ordinance. They would help us write it out. So they help with that sort of administrative part of it, that if we did have a lot of funding, could we maybe have someone, a dedicated staff member, be a part of this, so that there's someone that actively manages this as their full-time job. So after the master plan would be completed by the consultants, then the last item, number 6, the master plan would get adopted by the city, and at the same time we would push for the 2% to be adopted and be a permanent part of how the city functions, as well as the public art ordinance that the master plan would recommend. So all of those things would come kind of like in one adoption by the city. So I know you just got the resolution draft now, but if you want to take a look, a lot of what we wrote in there, it took us a long time to figure all this stuff out, but a lot of what we wrote on there is based on when the city established this commission, when the city established the mural arts program, we used a lot of the language on there, whereas, you know, the city did this, whereas the city did that, then, you know, the conclusion is that this is the sort of best next step to keep Laredo's art and culture moving forward. So yeah, do you guys have any questions?
I think they just helped us do a huge part of the job that we were trying to get together to do. so.
They addressed your agenda point.
They certainly. Actually, yes, the only thing I was sitting here thinking was that, I mean, do we, is there any way, I mean, I don't know if it could be that the city council, if they're going to award money from their funds, each member, that they advise us? I don't know.
Well, I think that's different from what this is. You're talking about,
We're talking about a master plan.
right, and I think the master plan would, I would think that what they talked about last time was that there would have to be a dedicated line item for this, not from their individual.
see.
Right, right.
Individual
So I would still have
discretionary
to
accounts.
have my conversation with them about what they do with their funds. Okay,
Right.
never mind.
I think that part of the issue with council members kind of going and doing whatever public art project goes to them would be addressed through the master plan, although that may take some time to come into
Right.
play. So I think it might still be beneficial to have a conversation with them and
Yeah.
just make it known, like, hey, we have a commission here, hey, we have a group of artists
Right.
who are willing to kind of look. And the other thing that came out of the comp plan, a lot of the complaints that the community had at that point was that there isn't a fair process for artists. It's sort of like one was secretly selected and they got to do this big project, but there wasn't a fair bidding process where artists can apply the way that you guys designed the mural arts program. So if the council members could do something like that to make sure there's a fair process and we kind of expose, like, you know, this isn't okay with the community.
Right.
And I think one of the things we talked about is that if the master plan suggests, because a lot of the way to get the funding is to make sure that it comes through convention and visitors bureau. And so, for example, if you have a monthly film festival that brings people from, 1 month is film month or whatever, we talked about that, if they're bringing people in, that they can justify taking the funds from that.
Hotel, motel.
Hotel,
Well,
motel. And of course, we have to justify
that's
that.
where we're getting our funds
Yeah.
Right.
right now.
For the murals arts
Yeah,
project.
for the
Yeah.
mural only, and
For the grant.
it's only, what, 25,000, so.
I think that one of the problems that exist is that this is only sporadically happening. And I
See,
think that,
we don't even know. Is it once a year?
and we need to have an understanding
We-
that.
I don't, does it say that in the mural arts?
They just need to
I would have to reread it.
budget for it for the next year.
For next year, so
Mhm.
we're done for, see, that was
We're
the
done for
money we
this year,
got.
yes.
So now we'll get 2019, but that's it, that's all we're gonna.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that this would probably expand it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, well, that 2% would be huge.
Right.
Because
And see-
even if the city does a parking lot or a park, or even if it's a small project, you can start to save up for bigger
Right.
projects.
And the other funds we got, they were limited in where you could use them.
Right,
This will be expanded.
exactly.
See, and I think a council person would be attracted to this notion, because then they could say, well, look, if it's part of the master plan, I don't have to use my discretionary funds.
Right.
I would encourage you to participate in the
Right.
master plan and become part of that, of the process for the funding of art and so on and so forth.
Right.
It kind of assists them and allows them to use those discretionary funds for other things.
It would be nice if we would have an informal discussion with council members and get a feel of what they really want.
With their
From-
discretionary
yeah.
funds.
Well,
What they
it
want.
would have to be at a meeting if it's with the city council, because if they're.
No, I think that if we,
Can you approach your
in a
individual?
individual.
personal
Okay.
conversation
Very informal.
with them, approach them and just talk to them. Each one of us has a council member that asked us to be here. So, yeah, I think that just to say, you know, we're really looking to have a master plan, and we also would like to know what are your ideas about funding art and things for Laredo, and also I also would like to suggest that whenever they're approached personally and they want to give away their money, that maybe they could just give us a heads up as to what they're doing, because it sort of ties in if it has something to do with art, right, or culture, whatever, I don't know. Because then it's like out of left field, we hear that somebody who didn't get the mural went and got the mural in a different way and, you know, and got more money and then, I don't know, it's just weird, so.
What if we were to propose to them that out of their discretionary fund, they would say, okay,
So
we're ready
much
to
would-
commit
yeah.
so much for, you know, for this
Right.
plan.
Yeah,
And that would be a start.
well,
And
maybe,
those funds are also limited in what they can be used for,
oh, okay,
so.
well, I guess they can use them.
But I think the first step is for us to take, I'm looking at it, and what it calls for is to assign resources from a set-aside budget
Right,
to different arts projects, advise council in all arts-related matters, such as long-term project coordinator.
Right.
So I think the first step is for us to look at this,
yes.
and if we're ready to vote on it, let's vote on it. I'm ready.
Has everybody read it?
I think we just you wanted to change that figure, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be changed to 80,000 on item two.
So,
I move that we approve resolution approving the Fine Arts Culture Commission to develop an arts and culture master plan with the amendment of the amount to not exceed
Yes.
$80,000.
do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, so we think it's fabulous.
Okay, so now we,
Thank you, ladies, for what you're doing.
and then you'll advise us when you're going to council with this, right?
So, what I would like to suggest to you right now is that in the conversations that you wanna have with your council members, if you wanna bring this and kinda use this as the excuse, cause we want them to already know what this is about
Right,
from their commission, their nominated commission member before it goes to council. So, once you all have a chance to talk to your council members, then we would move forward with putting it on an agenda.
okay.
Sure, I think what we can do is just ask Mary to do a quick letter that says, you know, dear council members, please, well, I'm sure you advise them of what we did, right? Or you-
I advise my
Your
boss.
superior, okay, then we'll do our council.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that personal conversation is important
Yeah,
for
I
the
agree.
other thing you wanna talk about, so maybe bringing this up to
yeah,
them
I
as well.
agree. And then,
And when you're ready to put it on the agenda, I'll input it.
Okay.
okay. So we sort of have homework then, to do with our designated council member. I think that would be a great thing. And open up the dialogue that maybe we haven't really been having with the person who put us on this committee.
When you correct it, will you send it to us?
Yes.
Okay, and then I just wanna let you know my email here, on the report to the city.
Oh, that it's wrong or?
It says Bravonet with a P instead of Bravonet with a P. Will you check it? please?
Yeah.
How do I get a copy of the email?
Right here. You can have mine, I'll just correct it. I mean, you can have my copy of this.
If you want to send it to me and I have my group that I
Oh,
send out
okay.
to them.
Okay, I'll send it to
I
you.
must have it correct, cause you're
Yeah, I
getting my
am
emails.
getting it, yeah.
Alright, well, thank you all, thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much.
Thank you for
very
coming.
much.
Thank you.
And
Nice to see you again.
We're very excited to be working in conjunction with your group.
yeah, and on behalf of our group, condolences to your family and the passing of your
Yes,
grandfather.
very sorry to hear about.
She's living out his legacy with helping the community.
That's good.
She's gonna be back here.
Thank you. I guess that's it for today.
Did you make a motion to table?
Oh, I'd like to make a motion to table, item number 2 until we all speak to our prospective council members, our council, members. So, yeah, do I hear a motion?
Second, so moved.
Okay, thank you. So that's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Thank you.
I didn't have one announcement.
Okay.
March 28th at Gallery 201, Laredo Board of Science having their annual finals competition.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, sign up is at, I don't know, there's no sign up, it's at the, poetry starts at 10 p.m.
Hi, it used to start at 9.
Now sign up,
Oh, okay, sign up's at 9,
Yeah.
okay, great.
28.
So it's the
28.
finals
We
for
got the
the
gala.
poetry
Right.
slam.
Oh, what's the gala?
Yeah, the gala's on the 28th.
it's also the 28th?
Yeah,
I thought the gala was-
LTGI Awards
Oh, my
is that
goodness.
night,
Yeah.
at
I know you
6:30.
can do a schedule.
Yeah, but it's at 6:30. And it's
Okay.
like, it'll be over by 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a long
No,
while.
yeah, so yeah, it'll be over early.
All right.
Okay, any more
And the
announcements?
day before that, the Laredo Film Society is showing the movie that Julia Vera is in.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, at Alamo Draft House, right?
Right.
What do we get tickets for that?
Alamo?
I'm not sure. I'm not part of the group with Laredo Film
Oh,
Society.
Oh, but
Laredo Film Society?
what
Where do we
about,
get the tickets for the
What day is
the
it?
27th?
For the
Oh.
screening of.
they
Julia
have
Vera.
a link, I think on Facebook,
Mhm.
you can reserve, I think you have to reserve them through Laredo Film Society,
Okay.
not through the draft.
Laredo Film Society. okay.
Yes. Maybe I can send, Ms. Solis the link.
And I can forward it to the.
Oh, please do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Julia Vera will be here for that, because the next day she's doing the,
Yeah, she's gonna be a part of the people that we're gonna.
Okay, any more announcements?
The next,
When is our next meeting?
is scheduled for the 18th. I will not be here, but,
That's our scheduled VMT Jazz Fest.
okay. We can move it to the next Thursday if you want, the 25th?
The 25th,
April
is that a conflict with anybody? April 25th,
Uh,
okay. So is that good for this group so far? All right.
Yeah.
So we've moved that to,
And
we have to
again, if you
make a,
want-
do I have to have a motion and a second?
No, not for that. But if you have any items you want to
All right,
include. I know at the last meeting, we have the community development coming before you because they're got that housing, that elderly housing, and I think they're trying to put into their budget for a mural.
oh, okay.
But he still doesn't have all the details, so he
Okay.
asked not to be put on this. But I'll ask him.
All righty. Did we ever have an update on the murals?
No, let me give you that right now. Mauro has finished.
Right,
He's received the second 50%. I don't think that
Gil
Mr.
has
Rocha
it.
has yet.
It's
He
almost.
almost,
Yeah,
yes, he
almost.
called me like
Close.
right about the same time that Mauro finished it, but I saw that he had something going at Capataz where he was.
yeah, he was
So
doing
Doing
it.
a big mural, yeah.
Mhm. So no, he hasn't, but we've got the process already where we get a letter engineering telling us, okay, it's completed, then we can issue the check.
And so what do we need to do to set up the next round of mural entries for 2019?
2019, well, we are at the budget process right now. We're already working on the budget for that year, for
Okay.
1920. So it just needs to get approved by council
Okay,
that,
and then we'll know through you that we have that money allotted.
How do we request that they increase by a little bit, so that maybe we can get
Is it gonna
another,
be, is it gonna be the same budget of 20,000?
Do we have to make
no, it
do we have to
does
make a
not-
presentation to the city council?
It would be a good time.
Okay,
I had originally scheduled, had asked Cindy Collazo, who's known, if we could schedule you to give a presentation.
okay.
And we were looking at February, but we never met in January.
Okay, but
so-
maybe we should wait till Gil finishes his mural, we can make a
Mhm.
presentation
right?
and at least maybe have photos of the two murals
Mhm.
and maybe if the artist can be there and we can, I don't know,
Mhm.
just tell the city, thank you, these are the artists, their murals are done, these are the locations, blah, blah.
That could be part of the.
And then we can say, and we would like $100,000.
Well, that's a start.
Yeah, but maybe we can get more murals going, and maybe, you know, other kinds of art, like, you know, some
Just
of
public art.
public art, and maybe not just murals, but,
It's just that's the one most people.
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
yeah,
and you know what, maybe in the presentation, we can highlight murals in other cities, so we can
Mhm.
have an idea. I know that
San Marcos.
San
well, I don't know,
Marcos-
there's a huge thing in San Antonio about to happen with murals, and I don't know what.
Really?
Yes, I just saw it on Facebook.
Wow.
Is there anything as far as unveiling these murals when they're done, or is it
I
pretty much
have
just?
asked, I had talked to the PIO about doing some sort of event or maybe two separate.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe,
I
have,
think
you
it would
know.
be a good photo op for
Yeah,
some
for the-
presentation,
for
or
the-
maybe even like a ribbon cutting or something.
Sure, I think so, make a big deal of it,
Yeah.
I think so.
I'll wait to hear from Mr. Wilson.
Okay.
I'll stress him tomorrow.
On the weekend, he's probably gonna work on it this
I
weekend.
know.
He was working on it, this Sunday, I think.
You've been very busy.
We drive by there, like, no, it doesn't look like that.
Okay, any more announcements, any more business, anything else? Okay, do I hear a motion for this meeting to
I so
adjourn?
move.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all for being here. It was great to have a forum. I missed your faces.
I just
And
sent
thank you all
everybody
so much for everything you're doing.
the link for Laredo Film Board.
We love it, we love being a part of it, and this is the way it needs to happen. More people get involved.
Thank you.
Thank you, nice to see you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your time.
Nice to meet you.